Okay, get this. Over 72% of real estate owners worldwide are now investing in AI. Just let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, it's a huge number. Really shows the shift happening.
And imagine, like, for you managing a shopping center, having this super smart assistant,
Right.
one that could instantly understand complex leases, answer tenant questions right away, maybe even suggest the perfect mix of businesses for success.
That's exactly the kind of power we're talking about with generative AI in retail real estate.
And today, we're really going to dive deep into how this could potentially reshape a company you probably know, ShopOne Centers. You know, the ones who own a lot of those grocery-anchored shopping centers we all visit.
Precisely. We're doing a focused exploration, looking at what generative AI could really unlock specifically for ShopOne. I mean, they've got 46 centers across 8 states. That's a significant footprint.
Yeah, it is. And to help us get a handle on this, we've got a strategy document. It actually outlines how ShopOne could use AI to improve, well, pretty much everything.
From internal workings to the actual shopper experience. Yeah.
And what I found really helpful were the real-world examples in there. Things like JLL's JLL GPT and Simon Property Group's Holiday AI. They make it much more concrete, don't they?
They really do. They illustrate what's already possible, not just theoretical.
So our mission for this deep dive, then?
It's really to pinpoint the most exciting, the most impactful ways ShopOne, honestly, the whole retail real estate sector could use generative AI.
Okay.
We're focusing on benefits for tenants, for shoppers, and, of course, for efficiency. It's about understanding how AI can move beyond just basic analytics into, creative problem solving in a very real-world industry.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. We're throwing around generative AI a lot. For anyone maybe not fully up to speed, what exactly is it, and why is it such a big deal compared to, say, older AI?
Right. So the key difference really is what it can do. Traditional AI, great at analyzing existing data, finding patterns, making predictions based on what's happened before.
Okay, analytical stuff.
Exactly. Generative AI, though, it goes a step further. It can actually create new content.
Create, like what?
Like text, images, code, even designs. And that's the crucial distinction. It moves AI from just analysis into areas that used to be purely human creativity. So think writing documents, having conversations, generating marketing copy, even helping with layout designs.
Okay, now I see why it feels like such a leap.
But
And the document suggests retail real estate is already starting to embrace this, right? Not just thinking about it.
oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
moving beyond experiments. Let's look at internal productivity first. JLL, huge player, right?
Yeah.
They built something called JLL GPT. It's an internal AI assistant for their own staff.
An internal GPT, so employees can just ask it things?
Pretty much. They can ask natural language questions about their massive amounts of property data. Like an employee could ask, which of our offices are underutilized?
And get an actual answer. Quick
Ex-
back.
Instant insights for things like space optimization. And JLL is using AI elsewhere too, building efficiency, 3D leasing visuals, even finding investment leads. It streamlines really complex data work.
Wow. That could totally change internal decision-making. But what about things that affect, us, the customer?
Good question. That's where Simon Property Group's Holiday AI comes in. They did this back in the 2023 holiday season.
Holiday AI, what's that?
They used ChatGPT 4 to create an AI-powered shopping concierge right in the mall. Think of it like a super smart helper elf.
Okay, like a chatbot in the mall?
Sort of, yeah. Shoppers could interact, maybe via staff with tablets, and get personalized gift recommendations based on what was actually in that mall.
So trying to make the physical shopping trip a bit smarter, a bit more like online.
Precisely. Blending that online convenience with the benefits of being there in person. And they've expanded since then with tools like Simon Search for finding products across the mall, too.
Interesting. So it's not just chatbots, though. The document mentioned AI getting involved in more complex stuff, like finance and strategy.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really compelling, I think. Generative AI, because it can synthesize so much information, is proving really valuable for complex strategic tasks.
Like what specifically?
Things like advanced financial modeling or lease abstraction that's pulling key details out of tons of different leases quickly, even optimizing whole property portfolios.
So you could ask it about sales trends.
Yeah, imagine asking, what are the sales per square foot trends across our portfolio? And getting not just the numbers, but context, maybe comparisons, even suggested actions.
Okay, that's powerful, especially for a company with lots of properties like ShopOne.
Invaluable. It enables much more agile strategy.
And it seems like this isn't just a few companies trying this out. You mentioned that 72% statistic earlier.
Yes, that 72% of real estate owners globally are budgeting for AI solutions.
Yeah.
That really signals a major shift. It's moving from, a nice-to-have tech to something fundamental.
And the potential upside.
It's significant. Efficiency
Mhm.
gains, finding hidden risks, even creating new business models. Some analyses suggest it could boost net operating income NOI by over 10%.
Wow, 10% or more. So it's really becoming essential to stay competitive.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we've seen some impressive industry examples. Now let's really zero in on ShopOne. The document laid out 5 specific ways they could use generative AI. Let's tackle the first, the AI lease analysis assistant. What's the pain point here?
Well, the core problem is just the sheer volume and complexity of leases. ShopOne has 46 centers, countless leases, all with potentially different terms, clauses, deadlines.
Right. Must be a nightmare to track manually.
Exactly. Reviewing them all manually is incredibly time-consuming, and honestly, it's easy to make mistakes. Missing one critical detail in a lease. That can have big financial or legal consequences.
Okay, so how does the AI assistant help with that specific problem?
The idea is an AI tool that can basically read all of ShopOne's leases, PDFs, Word docs, whatever.
Mm.
Then, staff could ask it questions in plain English,
Like what kind of questions?
like show me all leases with percentage rent clauses, or summarize tenant X's responsibilities for common area maintenance.
And the AI understands the legal language.
Yeah, using natural language processing, NLP. It can parse the jargon and give you quick, accurate answers. It could even spot patterns across the whole portfolio, like common clauses or maybe below-market rents, stuff that's really hard to see manually.
That sounds like it would save a massive amount of time for their legal and leasing folks. What are the main benefits?
Huge efficiency gains, first off, and better risk management because fewer things get missed.
Makes sense.
It also means they can react faster, maybe to lease renewals or other opportunities. It frees up those skilled people from tedious abstraction work to focus on strategy, relationships, closing deals.
And finding those portfolio-wide insights seems really valuable long-term, too.
Definitely. Informs the whole leasing strategy.
Okay, let's move to the second one, the tenant service and maintenance chatbot. What's the likely challenge for ShopIn here now?
Property management 101, right? Handling tenant requests and maintenance is super labor intensive. Managers probably get swamped with calls, emails, simple questions, urgent repairs, everything.
Yeah, I can imagine. Leads to delays, maybe unhappy tenants.
Potentially, yeah. It strains capacity. Even answering the same simple questions over and over takes time. And often, the data from those interactions isn't really used systematically to spot bigger problems.
So how does an AI chatbot fit in?
The concept is 247 chatbot tenants can access easily, maybe on a website or app.
Okay.
This AI could handle a lot of the common stuff. A tenant reports a broken AC. The chatbot could log a work order automatically, notify the right technician, give the tenant an ETA.
So it takes the first step.
Exactly. Answers FAQs, logs requests. For complex things it can't handle, it escalates smartly to a human manager, giving them all the initial info. Ideally, it plugs right into their existing work order systems.
What are the benefits for ShopOne and the tenants then?
For tenants, immediate, consistent support anytime. Faster fixes for simple things. A smoother process even when humans get involved.
That sounds good. And for ShopOne?
Frees up property managers for more complex work. Plus, the chatbot creates a central log of everything.
Ah, so data.
Yeah, valuable data on common issues, response times. You can analyze that to improve operations, maybe even connect it to building sensors later to predict problems before they happen.
Proactive maintenance. Okay.
Yeah.
Ultimately leading to happier tenants, better retention.
That's the goal, and more efficient operations overall.
All right, third use case, AI-driven marketing and content creation. What's the challenge for a company like ShopLoo in marketing all those different centers?
It's tough, right? Constantly creating fresh, engaging, local marketing content takes a lot of effort. They need brochures for tenants, social media for shoppers, maybe newsletters.
Across 46 different locations.
Exactly. It eats up time and resources, whether it's their internal team or an agency. It can get repetitive, and it's hard to maintain a consistent brand voice and look everywhere. They might miss chances to really connect with local audiences.
So how can generative AI help them make better marketing materials faster?
Think of it as a creative assistant. These AI tools can draft marketing copy, brainstorm ideas, even create basic designs. You just give it some prompts. Like write a Facebook post about the new coffee shop opening at Anytown Mall, using info about the center and its key tenants. Boom, you get a draft.
But it tailors to the platform.
Yeah, and it can adjust the tone for different audiences. AI image tools could even help visualize event concepts or property upgrades. The humans are still in charge, setting goals, reviewing, but the AI does a lot of the initial heavy lifting.
So what are the payoffs? Faster, cheaper content.
Definitely faster and cheaper. They could maintain a much more active marketing presence without a huge budget increase.
And potentially better quality or consistency.
Could be, yeah. Helps maintain brand guidelines. But crucially, it allows for personalization and localization at scale. Tailoring content to each center's community makes it way more relevant.
Which should drive more foot traffic.
Exactly. More traffic, happier tenants, and makes the centers more attractive to new tenants, too, with better marketing materials.
Okay, number 4 gets into the data side. Portfolio analytics and AI decision support. What's the current state of analyzing performance across, say, 46 shopping centers?
It's often pretty manual and fragmented. You're pulling data from leasing systems, tenant sales reports, foot traffic counters, market research, all different places.
Sounds slow and siloed.
It can be. Getting a complete picture is tough. Finding real insights, like comparing sales productivity between centers, or seeing how local demographics affect performance, takes a lot of complex analysis.
So decisions might be delayed or not fully data-backed.
Right. You might be more reactive than proactive. Opportunities or risks might not surface until it's late in the game.
How does an AI co-pilot change that?
The idea is an AI assistant that can tap into all that data, internal and relevant external sources. Then anyone from an executive to an asset manager can just ask it questions in plain English.
Okay, like what?
Like, which centers have the lowest occupancy and why? The AI sifts through the data, identifies the properties, maybe even suggests reasons based on market trends or tenant performance.
So it connects the dots.
Exactly. It can handle complex what-if scenarios, too, like projecting the impact of a capital investment.
Yeah.
It becomes a real-time decision support tool.
What's the main benefit there? Faster decisions.
Faster, yes, but also more informed decisions. It basically democratizes data insights. Everyone gets access, not just analysts running complex reports.
So there's more agility.
Much more agility. Respond quicker to opportunities or problems. And the AI might spot hidden patterns or correlations that humans would miss. It's like having an on-demand data analyst to help optimize the whole portfolio.
Okay, final one of the 5. AI-assisted leasing and tenant mix optimization. Getting the right tenants in the right places sounds crucial but complex.
Absolutely fundamental. Right now, the leasing team relies heavily on their market knowledge, relationships, lots of manual research to find tenants and negotiate deals.
Yeah.
Analyzing all the data demographics, competitors, trends for each potential deal is a huge job. Plus, generating proposals, financial models. It's a complex balancing act to find that perfect tenant for each space and community.
How can an AI leasing co-pilot help optimize that?
It would likely have 2 main parts. First, a tenant mix optimizer. This analyzes data for specific center demographics, income competition, current tenant sales.
All that local stuff.
Right. And it suggests which types of retailers or even specific brands are most likely to succeed there. It spots gaps, highlights opportunities based on market demand.
Okay, that's the who. What's the second part?
Deal and content automation. This helps generate customized leasing materials quickly, letters of intent, presentations, pro forma rent analyses. It can even simulate different deal structures.
So it speeds up the paperwork and analysis.
Exactly. It augments the team's expertise with data insights and automation.
What are the main benefits ShopOne could expect here? Better tenants, faster deals.
Both, hopefully.
Right.
Faster lease-up of empty spaces, more strategic tenant selection based on data, which should lead to higher occupancy and rent.
And better overall center performance.
That's the idea. Optimizing the mix boosts sales productivity for everyone. Plus, the data-backed insights help attract those high-performing tenants. Automating proposals frees up the team for more active negotiation. It makes the whole process more proactive and should lead to a stronger, more profitable tenant base.
We also had that bonus point. Predictive property maintenance. Not in the top 5, but sounds valuable. What's the gist?
Right. Maintaining all the physical systems in these centers is complex. Often it's reactive, fix it when it breaks, or just based on a fixed schedule, which isn't always efficient.
Okay.
Predictive maintenance uses AI to analyze data, often from IoT sensors and building systems, plus historical maintenance logs.
To do what? Predict failures?
Exactly. Predict failures or inefficiencies before they happen. The AI might see weird patterns in an HVAC system's energy use and flag it for service before it breaks down completely. or optimize cleaning schedules based on actual foot traffic patterns.
Shifting from reactive to proactive.
Precisely.
And the advantages of that: less downtime, lower costs.
Definitely. Less equipment downtime, lower repair costs because you catch things early.
Good.
Also happier tenants because things break less often.
Any other benefits?
Potential energy savings from optimized systems, longer equipment life, which defers big capital costs, and better safety by catching issues proactively.
Okay, it's really clear looking across all these examples. Generative AI offers a lot of potential benefits for ShopOne. Can you kind of summarize the big picture advantages?
Sure. From a high level, we're seeing potential for big operational efficiency gains and cost savings. That 10% plus NOI boost isn't unrealistic.
Right.
Then there's revenue growth and better portfolio returns from smarter leasing and maybe new revenue streams.
Okay.
Definitely improve tenant satisfaction and retention through better service.
Makes sense.
Competitive differentiation being seen as an innovator, better decision-making and risk management because of the data insights.
Yeah.
And finally, just increased organizational capacity, empowering employees, freeing them up for more strategic work, fostering innovation.
Implementing all this sounds like a massive project, though. The document mentioned a 5-phase roadmap. Can you give us the quick version?
Yeah, it recommends a structured, phased approach. Sensible, really.
Yeah.
Phase 1 is about prioritizing the use cases, figuring out where the biggest impact is, and planning pilots.
Test the waters first.
Exactly. Phase 2 is getting the data ready, consolidation, quality checks, and picking the right tech foundation. Crucial groundwork.
Okay.
Phase 3 is building and testing those pilots, iterative process, getting feedback. Phase 4 is deploying the successful pilots more broadly, integrating them, training people.
Scaling up.
Right. And Phase 5 is ongoing improvement, evaluating, iterating, looking for the next AI opportunities. Full transformation doesn't happen overnight.
Makes sense. And they mentioned a company, Optimal Management Advisors. What role could they play?
Yeah, OMA and their OMA Labs team, they position themselves as a potential strategic partner for this kind of journey.
With specific real estate AI expertise.
Exactly. They do AI agent design, data engineering, asset management solutions using AI, plus the strategy and change management side, which is critical for adoption. They emphasize a customized approach focused on delivering real value.
Okay, so bringing it all together, then it really feels like generative AI presents this massive opportunity for ShopOne Centers, not just tweaking things, but really transforming operations, tenant, and shopper experiences, gaining a real competitive edge.
I think that's right. The potential benefits touch almost every part of the business: efficiency, costs, revenue, decision-making. It's about leveraging this tech strategically to operate smarter and deliver better results.
It really makes you think, though, doesn't it? Beyond shopping centers. If AI can do this for retail real estate, what other industries dealing with lots of data, complex processes? Where else might we see these kinds of dramatic shifts soon?
That's a great question. I mean, think about the legal field with all that document review, healthcare, analyzing patient data, finance, with risk assessment.
Yeah, loads of possibilities.
Any field, really, that involves analyzing huge amounts of information, automating routine tasks, or making communication and decisions better. They're all ripe for generative AI advancements.
Well, if you, the listener, want to dig deeper into some of the examples we talked about, JLL, Simon Property Group, or read analysis from McKinsey or EY, the document we base this on, reference those. Definitely worth exploring.
Yeah, check them out.
And maybe this whole discussion has sparked some ideas for you about how AI could be used in your own work or even just daily life to streamline things or find new insights.
It's happening fast. The integration of AI and retail real estate, like we've discussed with ShopOne's potential, it really signals that broader trend. The intelligent automation of industries we used to think of as purely human-centric, how we interact with physical spaces, with businesses, it's all being actively reshaped right now by these technologies.